What's good? It's Unconventional AF with Jaleel Wavy back with a new episode. Today it's going to be all NBA because we got some sad news to talk about. And I'm probably going to say some things that people will not agree with. But when has that ever stopped me? Never. Anyway. Chris Paul officially announced his retirement on Instagram a couple of days ago. And before I get into anything else, I just want to say the Los Angeles Clippers, y'all deserve nothing good to ever happen to y'all. Most NBA fans will agree that nothing good has ever happened to y'all besides the time that Chris Paul was there when he was running the show as the point guard alongside Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. And how can we forget Jamal Crawford? The only time y'all was even relevant was the time that Chris Paul was there. The only time that y'all were better than the Lakers, more relevant than the Los Angeles Lakers, is when Chris Paul was there. When y'all was going to the playoffs consistently, when people consider y'all title contenders, is when Chris Paul was there. So the fact that y'all cannot let that man have his final season with the Clippers franchise so he can be at home with his family, retire with some dignity, play his final season, get his flowers. Y'all probably was never going to win a championship anyway, but I hope y'all never win a championship for the shit y'all pulled with Chris Paul. Obviously, I'm just a fan along with 99% of the people. We don't have any insider information. But if Chris Paul was that bad in the locker room, y'all couldn't have talked to him? Maybe y'all did. I don't know. But I feel like a conversation could have been had and Chris Paul would have chilled out so he can finish his final season. I don't get it. I never will. But I'm going to be honest. And I have to say this, and I know a lot of people not going to like this. I was talking to a coworker. Hell, even I would see some stuff online about him deserving a farewell tour. And I want to say I'm on the side of, I don't know if he deserved one. I don't know if Chris Paul earned a farewell tour. Now, if that's just a couple little standing ovations from away teams and then maybe just a tribute video from the New Orleans Pelicans, formerly known as the Hornets, maybe the Rockets. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if Chris Paul was that great of a player. Or no, let's take that back. I don't know if Chris Paul was that special of a player to get a farewell tour. Let's run down some of his stats real quick. Over Chris Paul's 20-year career, he was 12-time All-Star, 5-time assist leader, 6-time steals leader, 11 times All-NBA. He was the Rookie of the Year, All-Rookie, 9 times All-Defensive Player. He was the All-Star MVP in 2012, 2013. He was a part of that NBA 75 anniversary team of the best players to ever play the game. But that boy, he played on a lot of teams. A lot of teams. You got the New Orleans Hornets, the Clippers, the Rockets, Oklahoma, Phoenix, San Antonio. Yeah, that's a whole lot of teams. But he was also number 2 in assists behind John Stockton and number 2 in steals behind John Stockton. So yes, Chris Paul is one of the best point guards to ever play in the NBA. But not everybody deserves that grand farewell tour. Obviously, Kobe Bryant got his. Kobe Bryant was universally beloved by basketball fans. And not just because he was a great player, but because of his mindset, the Mamba mentality. You remember as kids, we would crumble up a piece of paper and go to the trash can and be like, Kobe. Like, I used to do that, and I'm not even a Kobe fan. I'm a LeBron James dick rider. And even I used to do the Kobe in the trash can because that is what Kobe Bryant meant to the game. And then Dwayne Wade got his farewell tour. The difference between those two players and Chris Paul are championships. Kobe Bryant 5, Dwayne Wade 3. They earned a farewell tour. And there's only 2 players left in the NBA currently that deserve a farewell tour. That's Steph Curry and LeBron James. Again, special players. Now, there's conversations I see online all the time and through podcasts where they talk about jersey retirements and statues. And I be seeing so many names thrown out there for statues. And I be like, bro, everybody don't deserve a statue. Just like everybody don't deserve to have a franchise retire their jersey just because they played there for a couple of years. No. For example, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant probably only deserves his jersey retired in one city. And I'm going to say that's Golden State because he brought them 2 championships. Now, if Oklahoma wanted to retire his jersey, I wouldn't argue against it. But that man never brought them a championship. In the way he left for the team that came back on them down 1-3 in the playoffs, and then you joined them, the petty in me would be like, nah, you don't get your jersey retired over here. I'm going to retire Russell Westbrook, though, but I'm not going to retire your jersey, Kevin Durant. Steph Curry, obviously, Golden State retired his jersey. But then you got LeBron James that played for 3 teams, Cleveland twice. You retire his jersey in Miami, obviously, number 6. Cleveland, of course, you retire his jersey, number 23. But then you got the Lakers. Do you retire LeBron James' jersey as the Los Angeles Lakers franchise? Because that's a historic team. They got a lot of jerseys in that rafters over there. I guess so. I wouldn't make an argument against it, and I wouldn't make an argument for it. But now let's go over here to the statue conversation. Again, statues are for special players. You give a statue to Steph Curry because he is a 4-time champion and he's only been with one franchise his entire career. LeBron James, on the other hand, I don't know if you give him a statue in Cleveland. Hear me out for a second. The owner is Dan Gilbert, and as far as we know, they still don't like each other. So if you are Dan Gilbert, that man left you twice. Yes, he brought you a championship, the only championship in franchise history, but you don't really like him like that. I would understand if LeBron James didn't get his statue in Cleveland. You don't give it to him in Miami. He wasn't there long enough. Now, you should give him a statue if you are the Cleveland Cavaliers because he's a hometown kid, drafted there. His best years were in Cleveland, for sure. And he brought you the only championship that you'll probably ever get. You give LeBron James that statue. You give it to him. But outside of those two, you don't give anybody else a statue. And nobody else deserves a farewell tour like LeBron James and Steph Curry. In my opinion, I would put Steph Curry on the Mount Rushmore for greatest NBA player of all time. And this is coming from somebody that don't even like Steph Curry like that. But you can't deny the way he changed the game with his 3-point shooting. And the last thing that I want to talk about is this NBA All-Star Game, USA versus World. I only have a quick take on this. If you're going to do USA versus World, there should not be a voting poll for Eastern Conference and Western Conference. That makes no sense. This actually could have been a great All-Star game, but because of the format for voting and then this whole 3-team tournament challenge, which is so stupid, please stop doing that, Adam Silver. If you're going to do USA versus World, you make the voting USA players and World players. And you just vote for the best 12 USA players, the best 12 World players. There's one game, and I guarantee you that they will compete because egos. You're not going to want the world players to prove that they're better than you. I mean, let's be real. I think the last 8 seasons has been world players for MVP, Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, SGA, and then you got players like Wembanyama coming up, Luka. I mean, the list goes on and on. They are amazing. Damn near, it's their league. But if you're going to do USA versus World for the All-Star game, 2 teams, and you have the fans and the actual voters that pick the reserves and have the final say for the starters, the 12 best USA players and the 12 best world players, and there's 1 game. That's all I have to say. Make sure you follow the boy Jaleel Wavy on Instagram, Unconventional AF on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to the podcast, Apple, Spotify. Full videos will be on YouTube. Thank you for listening.